good, everybody? We right back here with my guy 5 Star, and we said we're gonna do some recaps around here. So, hey man, we ain't see 5 Star since Friday, but he came on here and gave y'all 3 straight winners. I know, I bet them all. UNLV +9, uh, Steelers money line. What was the last one? What's the third one?
The third one last week was Duke +2.5, right? Was that last
No,
week? Nah, not
no, it
Duke.
wasn't
Hold
Duke.
on, I'll tell you right now. What's up, chat? What's up, man? Glad to
Yeah,
see y'all.
they showing you some love for sure. Daniel, happy to see you. Says everybody hit that like button. Also giving out some plays there and prolific. Oh, here we go. Here we go. PZ says 5 Star was on fire. So they definitely recognize and the comments for the show we were doing, they were loving everything that you were saying. So
Yeah.
got to give you credit for that nice work last
No,
week.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that to everyone, man. We're here for you guys. As I said, our time is valuable. We only do this just to show love, man, just to put our positive energy into the universe and pray that we get it back, man. That's the only reason that we're getting on here because the only entity that can afford me is the books. That's it. Nobody can send me a big enough tip that I can't go get myself by just making a wager. You know what I mean? So we're not here for any of that. Only thing we're here for is to show love, man.
Oh, there we go. It was Bama first half. Good old faithful.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. We had so many winners. Sometimes you get lost in the sauce, you know. Look, Skee, I'm gonna tell you something funny. You remember we just talking about that? And I'm glad you put that up for the 3-0. We're talking about transparency and things like that. Sometimes we just dealing with some degenerates, bro. And when you dealing with degenerates, you got an issue. It's no space on the wager world for degenerates, and I'm sure Skee feels the same way, man. We're in here trying to be some smart bettors, for people who are in sports enthusiasts. If you're sitting here and living and breathing on every word that we say and going running to the window, this dude told me, he said I was working for the books now. He was like, I knew it 5 star. I knew you were looking very successful. I know what it is. You really work for the books. You give out bad games. Bro, I was so joked out off of that. I'm like, oh my God, this man that made me an informant.
It's funny hearing the shit that people say, man. For real, it
Yeah.
really is.
We keep it
But
moving. We do it for the good people, man, like those in the chat right now. Y'all hit that like button right now for my dog Skee, man.
yeah, appreciate it. Definitely helps out the show, and everybody's still giving you credit on that 3-0 nice week last week.
What's up, B
Texans,
Daddy? I
so
always
was
show love. What's up, B Daddy?
Texans was a bet, but that was a push, so it don't
Yeah,
even
we
matter.
pushed on -6, guys. We pushed on it. I specifically told you don't allow that hook. I think Skee you went against it and just said,
Oh
don't
no,
take
I
the
took the
hook
six.
anyway. Okay, good,
I had the
perfect. Well, we
six.
pushed. Perfect. Good. Good. Because I wasn't over there with you. So I was like, man, I don't hope he didn't get the hook. But we on their ass tonight though, Skee. We ain't gonna let him hey, we're not pulling back tonight. It's full fledged ahead. We're very ticked off about that Patriots play last night. And so we turn the page tonight. We got to knock it out the ballpark.
Yeah, somebody asked in the chat, what do you think about that game? And I'll just say to start, I didn't realize how bad the Patriots offensive line situation was, but
Yeah.
it was on display.
One of the guys in the chat told us, Skee, I don't remember who it was. You know who you are, whoever you were. You made the comment under the show. Hey man, great call by you. He said the Patriots have a couple players out. Jets are going to roll them, and he called it right on the money. Great call. But this is the thing I'm thinking about, Skee. The numbers that we had. Remember, we kept winning with these +6.5, +6. The books weren't going to keep going for that. You know that. Stop it. So they hung that little fish bait out there, but they'll be back on it tonight.
All right, let's get to we got some college and some NFL. We have 2 games going tonight. Friday night football. Love that. So let's
Yeah.
start with oh boy. Let's start with 307, 308, Illinois and Nebraska. Opened up Nebraska -9. It's down to 7.5 right now. Total went down a point and a half from 44 to 42 and a half. This old boy who can't find his own swag, right? Who who want to be mini me, but we
Yeah.
think he can get the job done tonight.
Hey man, he's doing what Kobe did with Michael Jordan. He said, "This is my guy. I'm following everything he do." You remember when Kobe first hit the NBA team? He was even chewing gum like Michael Jordan. He's interviewing like Michael Jordan. So, hey man, I know it's kind of weird that Dylan Rose is doing this, but don't act like we haven't seen this before with Kobe. And Kobe ended up morphing into his own guy. I think that Dylan Raiola is a really good quarterback, first and foremost, even though he's, copying everything that Mahomes doing. He's doing it pretty well. He's averaging five. He has 5 touchdowns, on the year with only 1 interception. Much like Mahomes, he protects the ball. Much like Mahomes, he's also a high percentage passer, 74% completion percentage. You look on the other side of the field, he's facing Luke Altmaier. He has 6 touchdowns, no interceptions for Illinois. Really protected the ball. That's good. But the only competitive team that they played were Kansas, and he didn't score anything on them. Had one of his worst games. I just don't think that they have enough pop in their offense with Illinois. Brett Bielema, who's their coach, tends to be really vanilla, really just basic on his offense. They like to just line up and try to run the ball. And I think that Matt Rule is a lot smarter than that. Matt Rule out there rocking Anthony Edwards sneakers and stuff, man. He knows what's up. So he's running all the new stuff, and he's into, making these kids feel really good about themselves and running different types of plays that, help these kids be the best of themselves. So I like Matt Rule a lot, man. I think that Matt Rule is going to have those kids ready to play. The black shirts are one of the best defensive in college football. And the black shirts, if you don't know, that's Nebraska's defense. That's their nickname for many years out there in Lincoln. Friday night, they're going to be wide up. Rowley gets it done for us. I laid the 8.5. I'm laying the 7.5. I'm laying the 7. I think that Nebraska can win by at least 10 points on this one. So give me give me Nebraska -8 for an official play beating Illinois.
I'm with you. I'm rolling with you. We're gonna go with baby Mahomes. Hopefully he out there playing like Mahomes tonight. Chat though, the chat seems like they didn't agree.
Okay.
Mark, he took it early in the week. He says a +9. And Joshua, he's not liking what he's hearing. Okay. He says he likes the plus points. But so does everybody else. It looks like 53% of the bets, 53% of money all on Illinois. So I'll say this. I don't always care about ticket count and money count, but I'll say I always say this. One thing I do not want is a public dog. So good luck. We'll see who comes out on top.
Yeah.
Next one up, we have San Jose State and Washington State. This is one that opened at 14. Current number right now, consensus at 13. It's all over the place. Make sure you line stop. I see it 12. I see it 13. I see it 13.5. So this one is all over depending on which way you like. 5-star, who are you liking?
All of that's good, man. Anything that you can get over 12, take San Jose State. This is the reason why. Last week, me and my clients in my private group, I'm sure some of the guys who are watching this are in the group. We took Washington State +6, man, and it was a easy one. Washington State got the outright. That was a huge game to the people in Pullman. As you know, Washington went to the Big Ten. They left Washington State to die in the Pac-12, just them and Oregon State by themselves. So it was personal. So that was a big victory for that school. Washington State has always been little brother to Washington. They finally get the victory. They finally show them, hey, you went to the Big Ten, but we still run the state. Huge for recruiting in the area as well. Jake Dicker was on the field. That's their coach. He was on the field before it was even over with celebrating. It was like 1:30 seconds left. The refs was having to push him, Skee, like, man, back up. The clock isn't out yet, but he was that enthused and that happy. It's no way coming off of that type of victory that Washington State's players are going to be focused on San Jose State this week, man. They're not going to be paying any attention to them. And San Jose State has a really good team. Brent Brennan left a really good foundation before moving to Arizona. Ken Matola takes over. He was the Navy coach when they were really successful, when they had that long run of beating Army every year and being in bowl games and being a 7, 8, 9 win team. He knows what he's doing. Got some intel from Washington State as well, because Emmett Brown is the starting quarterback for San Jose State. Guess where he transferred from? Washington State and Jake Dicker. So we have a lot of reasons to like this game. Another one, Washington State gives up a lot of yards passing, man, 300 yards per game. So that opens up the back door for us. They're also allowing 132nd ranked with completions allowed. That's huge, because we got Nick Nash on the side for San Jose State, former quarterback that became a wide receiver, and he's outstanding. Has 6 touchdowns receptions already. He went off the first week for 17 receptions, 225 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the first week. 7 receptions, 90 yards, and a touchdown the following week. And last week he went out for against Sacramento State, for 10 receptions, 170 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Nick Nash will get us the backdoor that we need. I like San Jose State on this one. Also, San Jose State's defense is sound. They hold opposing quarterbacks to 48% completion percentage, and John Mateer, who's the quarterback for Washington State, isn't your normal passing quarterback at Washington State. He likes to run. He's not that accurate of a thrower, so look for that. I think San Jose State is the right play on this one. They're 9-1 straight up in their last 10 games, 8-2 against the spread. We're on San Jose State, man, plus 12.
Mark says, "Damn, 5-star gonna make me double up."
As long as you keep it where it's not too much money on it. Don't throw another extra 200 on there. Don't go throw 20 racks.
The chat loving
my 20 racks.
The chat loving this play, and I think you were making it sound good too.
Yeah.
Joshua Alexander is agreeing on this one. So nice work in college today. Looking forward to watching these games and making some money doing it. Let's move over to NFL.
All right.
We have a couple games we do want to get to here. And I've been refraining from talking about one of these teams just because it's my team. And I was unsure what to do with them, really. Like, were they going to be good? Was Harbaugh going to come in, the culture and everything's going to happen so smooth just from the jump. I know they played the Panthers. I know they played the Raiders. But they 2-0. You can only play who's in front of you. Steelers, the defense looked really good versus Atlanta. Steelers look good in general. And I'll say this, before looking at this game individually, money-wise, I need the Steelers to win. I have Steelers over 8 wins, as it was my best bet before, for my futures bets. And I also took Chiefs to win the division. So I don't want the Chargers to keep winning. I want them to lose the game. So they look motivated, but you think the Steelers look a little bit better.
The main reason that I'm taking the Steelers this week, and this is an official play for me, and I'll go money line. I think it's minus 125 is what me and the clients got it at, is because Justin Herbert is hobbled. He has a bad ankle. You don't want to have a bad ankle facing the Steelers pass rush. How many times have we said it before, Skee? TJ Watts equals wins. If he plays, the Steelers win. It's like 80% or something like that, man. And it's even better at home. This is their first home game of the season. The terrible towels will be out everywhere. For sure, under. I like the under too, but it's going to be really square, that under. So they might think of some crazy stuff to try to get it over there, but under seems like it's screaming on this game, under 36, with how sound both defenses are, chat, because the Steelers are only giving up 8 points a game and the Chargers are only giving up 6.5. As we expected, Skee, you were kind of just kicking and talking about your squad. I told you I expected a lot from them because I like so much of what Jim Harbaugh does with the line, how his line play. That's why he drafted Joe out first. He's building from the inside out. He's always about the interior line first, and they have an outstanding offensive line and a front seven over there for the Chargers. So they're going to definitely be in the game. My issue is I think that even when they're getting pressure on Justin Fields, he can go to backyard football and make some second reaction plays and make something happen. And maybe we catch George Pickett, deep and catch him slipping a couple of times and are able to put up 17 points with the Steelers. Chargers, on the other hand, you got Greg Roman as the offensive coordinator. The Steelers are very familiar with the style of offense he runs. He was the offensive coordinator for years with the Ravens. He has J.K. Dobbins in the backfield now. Coming a year off of injuries, looked good, but do you expect the Steelers to really give up a lot of yards running? So that means Herbert's going to have to beat them throwing the ball. I don't know if they can protect enough. Joe Out is good, but he's still a rookie, and he'll be facing a great pass rush from the Steelers, great defensive backs for the Steelers. Who's going to be the go-to guy? Do you really trust Quentin Johnston? He's only had one good game as a pro, and that was last week. He's had the drops so many times. You trust him in there with all those terrible towels waving at Heinz Field. So I just think that everything's set up in this game with the Steelers to win this game, including the fact that the Chargers have just made 2 trips across country. I think they stayed in Charlotte or something for the whole week, but that's still uncomfortable. You didn't get a chance to go home, see your family. You've been on the road for 2 weeks, and now you got to go play a football game. So travel didn't do them any good because they had to go from L.A. to Carolina last week, and now they go up to face the Steelers. I just think that everything points to Steelers for me, so I'm going with the Steelers money line. That's an official play.
I have a hard time seeing how this gets over. I hear what you said about it's going to be public and everybody's going to be on it. But damn, Chargers is going to run the ball.
Yeah.
Steelers can run the ball.
Turnovers the only way it can get over. Multiple, like somebody just have a turnover go crazy, or if Herbert, they say they're down 17-0 in third quarter, and coach is like, man, poor Herbert, he's already hobbled, and Easton Stick comes in turning the ball over. That's the only way I can see it.
Yeah, but I've seen some tricky stuff happen before, so
yeah,
probably not going to be on a total 5-star like the Steelers in this game. Let's keep going down the list. There was another one we wanted to talk about here, and damn, I got so many. I know what it was. My bad. I got so many banners here, all out of order. I couldn't get it right. But Eagles and Saints. We did talk about this a little bit with Mr. Ravino. Let me ask you this: the Eagle, or I'll start with this. We were watching that game. The Eagles could have won that game in multiple different ways, right? Whether it's just running the ball instead of passing and letting the clock run, you could have maybe scored two. If he catches the pass, they could have won the game. If the offensive line was awake and helped them get that penalty on the defensive line, they could have won the game as well. Just needed out. So there's a lot of ways that the Eagles could have just ended that game with a win, but they didn't. And because of that, I do think you'll get a really focused group here today. And still, though, I'll say that Eagles defense, they do not look good, especially letting Kirk Cousins come down there and win the game like they did. So for them to be facing a Saints offense that scored 40-plus points, that's pretty scary. I think you'll probably see a lot of points in this game. I had a tough time with the side. The look ahead was Eagles minus 3.5. Now it's Saints minus 2.5. You don't think it's an overreaction?
I really don't, because I think as we get closer to the game, the Eagles are such a popular brand, and their fans are going to look at like, man, he's the Saints. You know that. So it's certain teams that certain organizations, their fan base and their bettors, just they don't respect the other side of the ball. The Eagles going to think that same thing that you did. The Eagles back was like, yeah, man, it's the Saints. The Saints playing over their head, but numbers don't lie. Men and women do. Numbers don't. And the problem that I have that makes me, it's no way that I'm going to back the Philadelphia defense is because they're giving up 400 yards per game, man. They're 30th ranked, and worse, they're giving up 6.4 yards per rush. That's worse than the NFL. What have we seen the Saints do really well this year? Run the ball. They're top 3 ranked in all of the major rushing statistics offensively. The Saints are. They're playing really good. And the best thing about it is the Saints are last ranked in pass attempts. They only throw the ball 20 times a game. So that tells you that Clint Kubiak is coming in with a really focused game plan. They're running the ball. They're being smart with the ball. They're limiting Derek Carr. They're not going to let him beat them. They're going to play toward their strengths. Their best player, Alvin Kamara, who should be able to be a real problem for this Eagles defense. And they're going to go deep to Shaheed a couple times to stretch the field. They're going to play defense with all of those Pro Bowlers and ex-Pro Bowlers they have on the defensive side. Cam Jordan, Honey Badger. We can go on for days over there. They got a squad. DeMario Davis. It's so many good defensive players for the Saints, and now they're motivated. They have a reason to play because the offense is playing with them. They're not putting them in bad positions. This is our year. We can win the Super Bowls in New Orleans. I think the Saints are on a mission this year. I think that they're just a better team right now than the Eagles. What we do have to be careful of as a Saints backer would be Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is a difference maker. If Sirianni is smart enough to run the ball, they'll be okay. But we know that they brought in the OC from Dallas. And what does he like to do? Throw the ball. He forgets about Saquon Barkley. Even on the last play of the game, that ended up working out for us perfectly because we had Atlanta. It's no way in hell that you're supposed to throw the ball in that situation. It's
Yeah.
third and two, 1.5, a long two, a short two, and you got Jalen Hurts is your quarterback, man. Like, what are you doing? All you have to do is run two straight uh, push push plays, or fake it to Barkley and let him keep it around the corner behind him to get 2 yards. Because we know how strong Jalen Hurts is. He could have pushed forward for that, and then they could have just took a knee and ran the clock out and won the game. Sirianni is a frat boy. I don't trust him. I don't think he's a good coach. I think the year that they won, they had some really good coordinators. You know, they had Gannon, who's now over there coaching in Arizona, and he had Steichen, who's now coaching with the Colts. Since they've left, you've seen a real drop in their schematics and leading to games. They don't have a really good game plan when the game starts. I think that Clint Kubiak does, and I think he takes full advantage of Vic Fangio's outdated defense for the Eagles. Fangio's a great coordinator, one of the best we've seen, but man, he's getting older now, and the type of packages and things that he's running is kind of outdated. That's why we saw him going to the old trusted uh, prevent defense at the end of the game against the Falcons, and what they were down the field skiing three
Tearing
plays,
their ass up.
there in the red zone. You know, so I don't trust Fangio, but I do trust the young man of Clint Kubiak. Give me the hot team. Give me a team that's at home. Give me a team that's really motivated, and give me the team that the numbers say are a much better team than -2.5 in this one. So I'm going with the Saints.
All right. 5-star thinks that the home team can get the job done here. And you take them on the 2.5, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna lay that. I'm gonna do the money line. I'll do a split.
All right. Good stuff on that. And I'll just remind that those are the plays that 5-star came to the show with. And I do want to ask you about a couple more games.
Sure.
They were asking questions on the last show I just did with Robino. Couldn't
Uh-huh.
get to all of them. But one
Okay.
game questions were asked about was Ravens and Cowboys. Um, Opened up as Cowboys -1. Now flip of favorites. Ravens are -1. Total hasn't really moved. Ravens start the season 0-2, and you know it's desperation time for them. Um, if I was to look at this before the season, Ravens and Cowboys, I would have thought that the Ravens would be a much better team. That this spread should be higher than -1. But after watching the first couple weeks, I mean, that Ravens defense does not look anywhere near the same as that historic defense we saw last year. And I mean, it ain't no secret how I feel about number 8. So in Dallas, are the Ravens gonna go 0-3?
There's a chance that they could, because it's going to be a lot of public money on Lamar. You know, every hustler in America is betting Lamar this weekend. You know, if you are an around the way guy, you know, and you're not into it like we are, you're just a fan betting, they all betting on Lamar this week. Believe that, because they know he's on to, that he needs this one. But I might be contrarian on this one, man. I haven't betted yet, but early I'm leaning, you know, that the Ravens go 0-3 and that the Cowboys win. The Cowboys are coming off giving up 44 points. I don't ever like betting against an NFL team, especially one that's decent like the Cowboys are, with a lot of really good professionals and good players that got blew out the week before. I think we get a really, really strong effort from the Cowboys defense this week. And I think that Micah Parsons is one of those few defensive players that can actually shadow Lamar and give him some issues. So I like the Cowboys. I think their offense is better. I know the numbers. We just talking about numbers, you know, truthful, and women and men lie, but numbers don't. But in this situation, numbers lying like a mother. They lying like hell on the Ravens offense, because our test says that the Ravens aren't like that, you know. So give me the Cowboys if I had to take a side. It's not an official play, but I definitely lean with when it runs through my model. I like the Cowboys.
All right, and I wouldn't be surprised at all to see the Cowboys win this game. I agree with what you said. After giving up 40-some points, the defense will look a lot better, and they are
Probably
the
the
home
under,
team here.
Skee. Under.
Man, after seeing the Ravens defense versus the Raiders last week, I don't know if I could touch that.
Right, because
They
CD gonna go crazy, right?
told a story on the last show about how, I mean, you like me, you know this already, but when the games start looking ugly and going the wrong way, and especially if somebody come over there and start rooting against me, I'm getting the hell out of there. So
Yeah,
that's how it was in that Ravens game. You know, you was sitting right next to me. I said, I
yeah.
gotta. Oh boy, came over there, said, "What you got?" I said, I'm sweating something right. And he said, what you got? I'm gonna help you bring it in. I said, I need the Raiders team total under. Next thing I know, he over here cheering for the Raiders. So
That's what I tell her. Hey, that's what I tell a small white lie. I have to put that one in the group. Like if I'd have went in front of the judge, I gotta tell a small white lie right here for my own benefit. I would have told him I got the Raiders.
Hey, I know now I gotta keep my mouth shut, man. I can't be telling everybody. But I don't know if I could trust that Ravens defense after that. So I'm gonna stay far away from that total.
Yeah.
There's another game that was asked about in the last show, and I had nothing to say. I didn't even want to think about this game. But hopefully maybe you can have a little something to help them out. I don't even have a banner for this game, matter of fact. So I'm gonna take this off. I'll maybe create one. Giants and Browns, the dirty game of the week they want to talk about. Browns minus 6.5. I mean, the Giants have looked really bad. I mean, there's not really a whole lot to like for the Giants. So I guess I'll just ask you, is there any way to talk? He was on Cleveland minus 6, or once Cleveland minus 6.5. Okay, and you talk him off of that.
No, I couldn't, because if I would bet any side of this travesty of a game, that would be the side I would bet. But I'm not betting this. This is going to be a terrible game. It's going to be bad on the eyes. This is not going to be a fun one to watch here, because you got Deshaun Watson. Every time he take out running, he trip. The world don't like him so much. Not a grass tackling him. Every time he take off the run, he have yards right in front of him. No defenders around. He just falls. Watch this game. Watch when he takes off running. Every time he just falls down for nothing. So Deshaun Watson will be stumbling and bumbling everywhere, and throwing the ball out too high and stuff. And every now and then he'll hit a receiver enough to make a play, because we know that the Browns have a much more talented team than the Giants do. I think Dayball is going to show the Mara family, like, I don't know why the hell you even re-signed this guy. You stuck with me. How can I win with him? And he probably just going to belly up. Like, we're going to go get a quarterback in the draft. I'm going to show you that you spent the money in the wrong place. I want you to keep Saquon Barkley and get rid of this guy. So Dayball is just going to probably ride out the season on the I told you so and try to make these games as competitive as possible. But the Giants just aren't a good team right now, and it starts from them having the worst quarterback probably in the NFL.
All right, we on the same page. It ain't a whole lot more need to be said on that.
Yeah.
Now there's two games that I want to ask about. One I'm higher on than the other.
Okay.
And I guess I'll start with that. Let's go. And I did talk about this one on the last show, but I want different opinions.
Okay.
Jaguars and Bills. Bills coming into the season, I was a little bit down on them. I think a lot of people were losing Diggs, losing Vincent, and entire starting secondary, I think, left too.
Mm-hmm.
But Josh Allen, like I said, he's a one-man army. He's looked really good, and they were able to get the job done. Jaguars, on the other hand, I don't even really like Trevor Lawrence at all, honestly. But this is a situation where they're going to come in desperate. You go down, I mean, we could say this about the Ravens too, but you go down 0-3, it's pretty much, you're done. And they're getting points in this game where they could still lose in a close matchup by a field goal, lose by 4, etc., and you still cash a ticket. So just a combination of those things. And the Bills could be looking ahead to play the Ravens next week. They play this game Monday night, and they got to go back and play the Ravens on Sunday. Could be a look ahead. Situationally, it lines up for the Jaguars. Is there any way you can talk me off of the +5?
No, remember we talked about this game. As soon as the line hit, I took the Jags. I think I got them at 6.5 or something like that. Remember when it first dropped, we were talking about this game between each other. And I like Jacksonville in this game for the very reasons that you do. Also, I like the fact that last October, Jacksonville was able to go to Buffalo and win. They won straight out and around the same number. They were +5.5, and they won 25-20. Desperate situation for them. I think that we get a better look from their offense this week. I think that their offense plays a lot better than we've seen in the past. And I think that this week our boy Josh Allen decides to go ahead and be a company man. It's a standalone game. It's going to be on Monday night. So I think he keeps it close. If you look around at the games they've won, Josh Allen has really just did enough. He hasn't been, Superman like he has been in the past because he has some young receivers. You can tell he doesn't trust them yet. He's only really working to his tight ends and his backs when he's throwing the ball into what's the kid's name, number 10. He's only throwing it really to him now. So because he was with him last year, but the new big names that they've added, the rookie that they drafted from Florida State, he's not throwing him the ball. So I think that the game is right at the number that we'd like it at, right back at that 6, for a Monday night game, standalone game. I'll be on Jaguars. That'll be an official play, so we both will be on the Jags.
All right. I'd like to hear that you agree there. And last but not least, we might end up talking about this team every week. We might. Do I got a banner? I should have a banner for it. No, I guess I don't have a banner. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Oh, yeah,
Texans and Vikings. Now, Vikings have looked really good. I think they won 2 blowouts. If it wasn't a blowout, I mean, they're underdog and winning outright. So they won pretty easily in both of their games. Look good doing it. The Texans, they haven't covered a game yet, but they won both of their games. They've been the public team. Um, they've had to fight the refs, but they still been able to just win the game. This point spread is only 2. I mean, it's getting very close to asking them to win the game. Thing that holds me up here is, it kind of screwed us on that last one. We could have had a win instead of a push.
Yeah.
No Mixon. If Mixon was in, I mean, I feel like it would have been a different story versus the Bears. So no Mixon. I think Pierce is banged up. Those cluster injuries in the running back position scare me. Can the Texans still get it done? Can Diggs get some revenge on the Vikings?
And Cam Akers is the reason we didn't cover last week because he fumbled on the end zone.
Yeah.
And now he's getting more carries. So I don't know how that's gonna go for us, but I do know that I'll be watching this game as a fan and rooting for my Texans, but I will not be playing this because it's too much like good coaching in here on both sides. Like we're dealing with 2 of the best staffs probably in the whole NFL. You got Brian Flores is the best DC right now, I want to say, in the league because we don't even know anybody on Minnesota's defense. Maybe Harrison Smith, that's it. Who's over there? You don't even know him, and he does a great job no matter what they give him, drawing up some really good defenses. You saw Brock Purdy told him that it was the best defense he faced since he's been in the NFL after the game.
You probably could know what it's called, but I seen like on 3rd down, they was doing something like every time where it looked like they really about to blitz. You don't know where it's coming from, and then just certain guys just dropping back.
Bro, he's excellent. He's a real pupil of Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick loved Brian Flores, and they probably still talking. He gave him a lot of his, information about calling defenses, zone blitzes, just how to really confuse the quarterback. And I know they're going to be giving C.J. Stroud hell, and that's my boy, but they're going to be giving them some different looks, especially with them not having a really true running game. Because I know Cam Akers plays with a lot of effort. He looked pretty good in preseason, but I just never seen the same Cam Akers since that situation happened in L.A. that got him out of there. And that kind of was the downfall of the Rams after him and Sean McVay fell out with each other. Whatever happened between them is kind of like started his career going down and started the Rams franchise going down after the Super Bowl and stuff. So I just think that it's a tough game. You got, like I say, Flores is an awesome DC. He's going against one of the better offensive coordinators and Bobby Slowick. You got D'Amico Ryans. We know what type of DC he is. He's the head coach, but he still calls the defense for the Texans. And the Texas defense has been really outstanding. They've been the most physical defense in the whole league. And now we got Derek Stingley against Jay Jettas. Is Jefferson all the way back? Is he fully healthy? Is he just trying to force himself to play in this game to play against his homeboy Stingley? So they can talk noise and he can try to do some numbers against the Texans in what is now always what has turned to now a big game, when the Texans pull up, because the Texans are the most popular team right now to all the young squads. It's amazing the rebrand they have, man. Their owner is the quickest, fastest, best rebrand in the history of football, because the Texans went from a laughingstock to being the top dog. They're amongst the top teams in the NFL now. C.J. Stroud with the leading selling jersey in the league. So that means he's about to become a company man, right, Skee? So he's winning, but they're barely winning. So I'm going to stay away from it. I'm going to watch it, but it'll be a really good game. Really, really good game, I expect.
Man, you making me nervous to hit that button on the Texans. I might have to pump the brakes just a little bit.
You know we'll see each other Sunday. Right before I come out, we'll know what to do.
For
We'll
sure.
know what to do.
That's good. I think that's it for NFL. We did a pretty good job. We talked about 4 games NFL. We talked about a couple of the college games for the day,
Yeah.
and now I think it's time where we move over to best bets. So I'll ask you if there's anything you would like to promote, and out of the things we talked about, maybe there's a play you like more than the others.
Well, I just give them all 3 out that I got. Well, 4 that I gave out. Just they're all my official plays. If I bring it here to Skee and I say it's an official, it's official. That's so we on San Jose State plus 12.5. We're on Nebraska minus 7.5. We're on Steelers money line minus 125. We're on the Saints minus 2.5. Count all of those as wins and losses against old 5-star. And you could find me on the Waging World. That's my show. It's on every platform, whether it's iHeart, you want to listen to it and work out, Apple Podcasts, excuse me, Spotify. And if you want to see the visual, we're also on YouTube. All you have to do is Google The Wagering World. That's WAGERING. I'm only on X. I don't do Instagram. I don't do TikTok, none of that mess. I just do X, and the only reason I do it is because I like to talk sports, and that's a platform where we can really talk some sports at. So if you want to follow me, I'm on X at 5-star in Vegas. Spell out the 5.
Yeah, don't talk to him about nothing else. Don't get my boy in trouble.
Right. And all. Happy life, happy wife.
Hey, top 20 Louisiana. Man, didn't we talk about enough? Nah, but he liked the way you break down the games. We broke down that game with Rob Vino. We didn't, for the sake of not,
We can't give you
repeating
everything
ourselves.
top 20.
Yeah.
You got to DM me, baby. But we playing that game though, and we playing a 5% play on that game too, Skee. If anyone's interested in it, DM me on X at 5-star in Vegas. I do have a play tonight on that game on Syracuse and Stanford.
There you go. My best bet for the show. I'm gonna cap the capper here, and I mean, I can tell. I can tell confidence level when I be talking to people for so long and et cetera, et cetera. And it was sounding pretty damn good to take that San Jose State plus 13. So my best bet for the show, San Jose State plus 13. 5-star. Appreciate you taking the time to come break these games down with me. I'm sure that I'll see you later. And you people in the chat, appreciate y'all tapping in too. If you can hit the like button, it does help the show out. And we'll catch you guys again next week. Good luck to all you guys.